Yo, what is up? This is Jacob Hemphill from Soja, Brazil. You are listening to 89 FM, the Radio Rock.
Fala galera, beleza? Eu sou o Wendel Corrêa e hoje eu vou conversar com Jacob, vocalista da banda Soulja, que vai lançar um novo álbum chamado Beauty in the Silence no dia 24 de setembro. Vou trocar ideia com ele sobre isso, sobre o Brasil e muito mais, tudo isso com exclusividade para 89, a Rádio Rock.
Hey Jacob, how are you, man?
What is up, man?
Are you good? How are you?
I'm good. I'm pretty much locked in a recording studio for about 2 years, which sounds bad, but for me is a lot of fun.
Yeah. I want to start the interview asking you about Brazil because I believe you know by now Brazil really loves you guys. You know that, don't you?
I have learned that over the past 15 years, yes.
I don't think you know about this, but every time that I go to a friend's house, I know there will be a time that someone will play a Soulja song. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about Brazil? What do you most enjoy here?
I'll start with a story. So the first time we came to Brazil, we went to Sao Paulo. And we went to the venue to go load the instruments and do the sound check. And the venue was an airplane hangar with no airplane in it. I mean, it's the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. And my drummer, Bird, goes, watch, there's going to be 20 people here. And it sold out. It was like 4,000 something people, our first show. That was one of the greatest moments of my life. I couldn't believe it. And we figured, okay, maybe it's just Sao Paulo. And then we went to Rio. It was the same. And then we went to Florianopolis. And it was the same. And then we went to Curitiba, and it was the same. Everywhere we went, people loved our music. And it wasn't just that they were there to party. It was like they were there to sing the words. Like they weren't really there to, I mean, people were drinking and dancing and all that stuff, but it felt like it meant something more to them. And Brazil actually changed the way I wrote music, honestly, because I felt like people were really, really letting the lyrics affect their lives in a positive way. And that's my first and still strongest memory of Brazil.
It seems like you guys are a Brazilian band for us here. this really
I've often thought that when I retire one day, I'm gonna get a house on the beach. And hey, Eric, where were we when we were eating the lobsters on the beach?
You know, I try to remember that all the time. I want to say Recife or
Recife.
Yeah.
I always think about when I retire, just go get a house on the beach in Recife and just watch the sun come up and watch the sun go down every day forever until the end.
Yeah, you should do that. And you guys around the world for more than 20 years. What do you attribute the band longevity?
I actually talk about that in one of the new songs, Press Rewind. To continue to do this for 20 plus years, you have to remember why you started. Maybe that's not everyone's experience, but that's our experience. You know, when you start, you do it because you love it. And if you're lucky, it becomes a real job. But then if you're not careful, it's just a job now. You don't love it anymore. You're just getting up there, singing the thing, playing the thing, get on the bus, go to the hotel, go to the show, do the, you know, if you're not smart and you don't remember what you love, why you started, it will end. And so after 20 years, what we've been talking about as a band is that, hey man, we got to remember why every day after high school, we would go to my dad's house or my drummer's house and practice every day. Why every weekend we would go to a bar and play for 15 people for no money. Why we all of our jobs were spent on musical equipment. We gave up all our time and the little money we had because we were completely in love with this. So for longevity, you got to remember that, or else it's just a job and you're trying to pay your mortgage and provide for your family. And now the fans know when it's just a job. They know when they see you up there going through the motions and doing the thing, you know, and they also know when you're up there and you're in love with it.
And that's why I think you guys are making a huge success all over the world, because there are songs that apply to everyone. Your message, what you're talking about in your songs, is that, and it seems like you are talking about your own experience, but experience of your friends, your parents, or girlfriends. What do you think about when you are writing the songs?
I try to put myself in other people's shoes. So I'll think about one of my friends who's going through something, let's say like a drug thing or a money thing or whatever he's going through. And I write the song as if it's me. Or I'll think of a woman who I broke up with and now I don't talk to anymore. I write the song as if it's her. Or I'll think about my mother and the way her life has gone, and I write the song as if I'm her. You ever watch the show Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Okay, you know Arya Stark, the little girl?
Yeah.
Remember when she meets the man with no name who serves the many-faced God?
Remember that.
And they can pull the faces off like this, and they become a different person?
Yeah. That
That's
makes
what I do.
sense.
That's what I do for a living, yeah. But I don't kill them. I don't kill them, though. I just tell their story.
Just give love to people, right?
Yeah, I try to put myself in their shoes. There's a name for it, you know, it's empathy. Understanding the situation of another and realizing that even though it's not yours, it's still very real.
And there's a new album coming up, Building in Silence, in September 24. How was the process of writing and recording this album?
We pretty much wrote half of it before the pandemic together in a recording studio. And then we wrote the last half of it away from each other. So it's nice because the part you write together, you can really vibe. And then you go off on your own and you have all the time in the world to do your part. And there's no one over your shoulder saying yes or no, or play like this or do more like that, you know? You just give your best. And then we blend it all together. I like this process. I think we're going to keep this process. You start the thing in a room together, you get the skeleton, and then you go apart and you build the body.
And the inspiration for the album title came from a poem that your father told you. Is that right?
Yep. He always said there's two parts of life. There's the fast part and the slow part. And so the first part of the poem says, go placidly, which means peacefully, amidst the noise and haste, because that's what life is. It's loud and it's fast. And remember what peace there may be in silence. Because it's true, you know, I don't really leave my neighborhood now for almost, I guess, 2 years. And I have to learn about silence, and I have to learn about the peace and the beauty. I can't just be constantly distracted by things and success and possessions and bills. And, you know, I have to really like sit here in my own head and find the beauty and the peace.
That's perfect. And when I first heard the new album, I was noting things about it. And I noticed that it's main things that you talked about, and I want to talk to you about it if you agree with me, of course. It's songs about accepting things you can control and keep evolving as a human being, and helping someone who is living troubled times and remember good memories from our own lives. Is that the message you want to share with this new album?
A lot of this album you're very good for noticing that. A lot of this album is saying that, look, life is going to be good and it's going to be bad. It's going to be easy and it's going to be hard. It's going to be happy. It's also going to be sad. You know, the way the monks, the Buddhist monks, the smile on the face of the Dalai Lama, I I always wanted to smile like that. He doesn't have shoes. He doesn't have a cell phone. He doesn't have a Mercedes. He doesn't have none of that. But the smile, I'm always like, man. And I think he can smile like that because he knows that he can't control this life, but he can enjoy it or he can hate it. And it's a choice. And that's kind of the whole message of the record is you gotta decide if you're gonna, because this road is gonna be up and down, but you gotta decide if you're gonna smile along the way and be nice to people.
That's perfect, man. That's a big message you are sharing with this album. Thank you for that, and congratulations for this new album.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Do you have a favorite track on the album?
My favorite track is a track called Fall Like Rain. It's the last song on the album. And it's not going to be a single, and it won't probably be a hit because it's not really written like a hit, you know. It's more of a song that you listen to and you think, it's kind of what the last question we were talking about was. It says, we are who we are, we build and we break, we rise and we fall, we give and we take, we love without a reason, and we smile through the pain because we've been here before and we're coming again. We fall like rain. And to me, when I wrote that, I was like, this is it, man. Every single human knows, and animal, if they could speak English, knows that this is true. We're both. We're both. We're the good and we're the bad.
Do you remember when and where you were when you wrote it, this lyric?
Yeah, my dad came to me in a dream after he passed away. And I asked him where he was. We were standing in his backyard in the dream. And I asked him where he was, and he looked up at the stars. And I was like, are you serious? And he wasn't speaking to me, but he just looked at me and put this thought in my head, like, yeah, I'm serious, dude, I'm up there. And he put another thought in my head and he said, let me show you something. And it was the earth. And a star falls to the earth. And then it zooms in. And it's a circle, an eye, a human eye. It zooms out. And the eye is on this baby and its mother. And it zooms out and it's the earth. And it zooms out and it's the Milky Way, the galaxy. And they're all circles. And then stars start falling to the earth. And then it was my dad again. And I was like, that's it? And he was like, that's it, man. It's just this circle. We are who we are. And I woke up and wrote that song. And that is my favorite song I've ever written. And that's also, I just described the music video that I'm gonna make for that song.
It's beautiful, man. It should be your favorite song. It's a beautiful story.
It's I will never write a song I like more than that one.
And talking about the song that you came, we played on the radio and our listeners really enjoyed, and got a featuring Revolution and UB40. You are a big fan of UB40, right?
UB40 and Bob Marley and Peter Tosh were everything to me when I was growing up. And my father taught me how to play piano and guitar using UB40 songs because he knew how much I loved it. And he loved it too. So I'd sit next to him on the piano and he would show me how to play bum, 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 bum. And I'd watch him and I'd go dun, dun, dun. So for me, getting UB40, one of my heroes on a song, singing lyrics that I wrote is like kind of the biggest honor of my life.
Living the dream, right?
This is a lot bigger than my dreams were. Saving the universe or something. I don't know how to explain it.
And my last question, I wish I have more time, but the last question, we are a rock station, but we play reggae music as well, and everyone enjoy reggae music. And what do you think is the similarities between rock and roll and reggae music, in your opinion?
I think that melody and structure are very similar. Like I listen to Bad Religion, right? The melodies are just like reggae melodies. I mean, it sounds different, but you know, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the structure, the way it's structured is the same. And they both say, fuck the way the world is right now. It should be fucking different. So for me, reggae and rock and roll are very similar in that way. I like punk more than modern rock, but I think punk fans and reggae fans and ska fans and hardcore fans are all kind of singing about the same shit. You know what I mean? They're saying, fuck the way it is. This should be fucking different.
I understand you and I agree with you. That's it.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time, Jacob. I really appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Looking forward to see you again in Brazil because I don't know how many shows I have been.
Dude, come find me at the next one, man. Talk to Eric.
I
He's
will.
our tour manager. And you tell him to get you backstage and we'll get you up there.
I will. Thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
89. A Rádio Rock.